Crypto market is showing some signs of life and slowly coins are bouncing. Bitcoin is right now above 17,000, which is actually a good sign. We did talk about this few days before that inside this pattern, when we get this bullish divergence, you usually see bulls slowly wake up. And right now it does feel like, okay, they are slowly waking back up. Now, is this directly going into a blow off bull market right now? No. You have resistance here, you need to break higher, and even if you do, you then have a resistance here. But what's the good news, right? If you look at gold right now, you zoom into the gold market and you understand like it is starting to trend back higher. Now, why is that important? And does that actually directly reflect crypto bull market is here? Don't get confused. Last time when the crypto market went nuts, it was during this time when gold was correcting back down. Don't get it wrong. Keep this point to yourself. This is August 2020 and the bottom was like March towards April 2021, and that's where crypto actually topped out, right? Most of the coins. So now what's the reality? Dollar is dropping, the macro is turning positive for assets. You see stock market going nuts. You see Netflix 8% up, Tesla 7% up, Apple 5% up, all of them pumping. What really is happening in the macro scenario when you are looking at the stock market, gold, dollar, and then the crypto market? Don't get confused. This is going to be really interesting. As you compare both markets, you are literally observing something clear, which indicates at the end of the day, yeah, we are starting into the next wave cycle of the bull market. That's true. But can we really anticipate the big moves coming in next 30 days? Most likely no. Why is that? And when can we expect that? That's the great question, right? We're going to try and break that down here now. Welcome to the Scientific Investor family, where the normal retail guys learn how to become the next top 10% of the world. Right now, some of these coins are trying to break through a trend which is really bullish. And as we remember, short-term breakouts are happening in the market. I posted this earlier and that did work out, right? As the way we are looking at the market, it does show us some kind of signals. Say short-term, you are retesting here, you may get rejected, because long-term, you are going to the downside because you got rejected here. That's dollar. So any assets which are denominated in dollar should give you more strength. And that's what exactly is happening in the market. But at the same time, you also get to see this in the market, which for me is bullish, because we've been consistently getting 75, 75, 75 each time when they do the rate hike. And right now, the highlight goes to a little bit of cooling. Maybe 50, maybe 35, we don't know. But the CPI, as we discussed in the last video, is going to come soon. And we are going to see what the Fed does December. That is going to be something of interest as we move forward, because big guys out there are calling to cut rates instead of hiking it. So now slowly, one by one, they will see pressure coming in because the economy goes down. And instead, we actually see the attention going to SBF. Now, yes, this guy is on stage and he's giving you all the details, but screw that guy. Yeah, he actually screwed all of us, right? So leave him. He's literally like an idiotic guy coming on the stage giving idiotic thoughts. So it's better to look at the reality. Now, here we are looking at gold, right? So this is daily time frame for gold and daily time frame for the total crypto market. So if you actually put them together, say 2023, and look at what happened back in the day. This is the March 2020 crash. This is the March 2020 crash. After which, both of them recovered. Gold recovered a little bit early. And it went up, skyrocketed, way before crypto did. So if you are like me, you're like, no, I'm not interested in the entire market. First, let me look at XRP. Great. If that's your concern, here we are. This is XRP matching these corrections for March 2020. You'll clearly observe one thing. When gold was moving up, crypto was also moving up, but the momentum was not there, right? The big momentum was here, and here. And during both of those times, you will observe that the gold already made a local top and was slowly going back down. But before that, remember, from 0.11, XRP did reach zero point 0.5. So it was like a 4x, which happened in the market during that time, which in the current terms means XRP can even go to $2, $3 range when gold is going back up. And when gold tops out and slows down, you will see a lot of money moving out from that safe haven towards risk on assets. When you take some profits from there, you're like, okay, let me put it here because dollar is going down. Anyway, you don't want to put that into dollar terms. You want to put it into assets which are trending higher. It can be stock market, but right now, even though I'm, bullish on this asset for long term, short term, the pattern which it is developing right now is a rising wedge, which is usually a concern, right? It may come back down and bounce, but if it actually does lower than expected, if the CPI comes in as lower than expected, this can break to the upside. And what that means is dollar is going to drop heavy, stocks are going to rally even harder, breaking a bearish pattern to the upside. A bearish pattern breaking to the upside means double bullish, right? So you are going to go much higher and you may literally close this gap here. So that's like 337 and right now you're already 300. The bottom was like 160. You remember that. So we are already double from the bottom. In stock market, during all this economic turmoil, this is happening in the market. So something is saying market is starting to move into the other direction, right? You see that strength building here in the RSI, which gives you clear indication, okay, this is going much higher. Fine. Now that's the case with, say, Tesla and others, some of them trending lower, some of them starting a new trend. Great. So when you actually come back into the dollar and try to actually add on the same asset, say here we are using Cardano right now to see what's happening there, right? When the dollar drops, we know it is pushing the crypto prices back up. So here we are looking at Bitcoin on a weekly and we say, okay, we may come back to 18 to 19,000, but we need to break that level of 19,700 to say that we are coming all the way back up to close to 30,000. And if Bitcoin is able to come back up here, which it does look so because the retest of this range never happened strongly, so it can just be the retest of that break to the downside too. But look at the RSI. It was trending to the downside from a long time, but right now here it is making an accumulation range. It is not moving up, down. It's not actually trending. It's just sideways action. And if it's breaking to the upside here, that adds more bullish momentum to the market because, yeah, Bitcoin does matter. People do look at Bitcoin. If Bitcoin is breaking here and going above 25,000, remember the media is going to push that narrative. It's going higher. It's coming back. Mass media is going to put that out and people are going to come chase the price when the whales have already bought in here. Look at the RSI on a daily for Bitcoin. You do see this as a double bottom here, but at the same time, the strength shows you I'm going higher, right? And that does work out in the market. So if you are looking at, say, for example, XRP, and you are arguing that it is decoupling from BTC, it does make sense because that's a lot of interest there. Say if you actually come back here directly instead of gold, you take in the total crypto market, say without Bitcoin, and plot it against XRP, there are a lot of interesting facts. Say, for example, if you just want to focus on the market here, you look at this one and say like, okay, what's happening? What does the market show you? Now, this is a possibility, right? You are inside this trading range and something like that happened before. You look at this, you came back down, you made a bottom, you bounced, then you slowly went down, and that does look like a channel here. You're coming back down, and something similar, you are coming back down. You actually do that. Then when you go up, you get rejected. So that's going to be an important area for the market to see whether you are going back up. But the major difference between these are this one took like 50 days to make that bottom, whereas this one took you like 170 days to make that bottom. So the amount of people who have accumulated here is going to be much higher than the other one. So the upside can be significant to go and test this range, right? So crypto market reaching $2 trillion or just the altcoin market reaching $1 trillion is actually a big thing. Now, that being said, you do have to understand inside the market, you will see some assets lagging and you will see some assets kind of leading the market. And right now, when you just zoom in this area, now you don't have to, be that expert in TA. You're just zooming in, creating the same timeline, say July here, July here. You're kind of matching it up and you're looking at this. When the market came down, XRP came down. When it made a bottom, XRP made a bottom. When it went up, XRP went up, but comparatively little bit. Then it came back down, but XRP went back up. Then it did not come back to this range, right? It came close, but it did not go that low. Now, if you look at this one, it's trying to make a bottom and bounce, but XRP already made a bottom. It bounced, it broke higher. It's retesting that range and bouncing, which is again positive stuff. So if the market is moving 46%, you can argue that XRP can do 50% to 100%. From here, that means you're going close towards 0.8 towards $1. That is not a bad scenario. But if this one breaks higher and it's going to retest here, now that's 100% move in the altcoin space. Now there are some coins which are going to, bring big numbers like this, but then you'll have to look at what's happening there. If you are entering there with this big numbers, can you really take your money out? No. So make sure you understand that volume scenario happening in the market and enter wisely. Because we already talked about how big money is being positioned and where they are targeting. You do look at these volumes and you will understand how it is moving. Yesterday, video we talked about this, right? And in the group I posted, XRP buying amount just went nuts at one time, right? So it was like huge. And the difference being market is still here. You are trying to see some volatility. It's actually good. If you go on to a 4-hour chart, it is slowly starting to bounce, which is actually a good thing. Once you move above these moving averages, that's when you start to get this momentum. You can see this. When you're below the moving average, you're a little bit slow. When you go above all those moving average, you start to get more momentum. So now you can zoom in, zoom out. You can do all those stuff and ask that question like, where are we right now? Right now, we are trying to go back up, which is actually a positive news. So you go on to an hourly chart, you look at the moving average. The moving averages are trending to the upside, which is actually good. Then you can slowly zoom out and ask like, what are the possibilities, right? It's not like it's going to go sky high in just one day. Short term, if you are moving like this, you'll come back to that support and test if that holds. Whereas if you are like, okay, I don't care about the short term volatility, which is kind of the right attitude to be having in this market condition, you are now observing the high going here. Great. So now you come back, look at the market and you're saying like, okay, there are a lot of different assets, including Doge, Binance Coin, all of them getting kind of similar volume here. What does they show you? There is high correlation with some of these assets showing like, okay, XRP is within that league and market is trying to accommodate inside that league, which is actually a bullish stuff. Usually the market goes nuts. And right now when Coinbase goes against this saying this is not much used, it makes sense. They've been negative on that asset from that much time. Those who like that asset moved into other assets. I mean, say for example, those who are stuck in Coinbase, they don't have access to any other exchanges. They are not trading XRP basically. If you have access to other exchange, then you're like, I don't care about Coinbase. I'm going to buy my XRP in this exchange, right? That. So Binance, Bitrue, you have a lot of different options and most people hold it with them. A ledger, a wallet, whatever you would like to, people do that because that is much more safe. Now, here, if you're looking at BNB, it's trying to actually put in a structure here, a channel, and this is not bad. If you are looking at BNB on a weekly, you kind of get that taste of like, okay, we made in this bottom. We are slowly trying to consolidate and bounce higher. With that, the price can start a new trend because if you are Just looking at a trend line, you can argue that we already broke higher. We came back, we retested, we are bouncing, which usually is a good sign. And if you want to put a number onto it, you can say like, okay, the short term, I think it can do a 60%, close to that. And short to medium term, it can go 80 to 90%. But you know this. We get the measured move as an idea where the market moves, but then the market goes nuts, right? So there are a lot of different assets which actually show you similar, remember, similar idea right now in the market where you are just breaking higher, you are here, you have further upside and all of that. So if you are in similar assets with similar patterns, you do have to understand this is a weekly one, but in that asset, you may get it on a daily. Say, for example, you go to Trust Wallet token and you go on a daily chart. And this is what you actually, a 3-day chart, this is what you actually see. Similar pattern, you're just breaking higher. So if you noticed what happened in BNB after that, you kind of get a taste of what's coming here. Now, why is that? The narrative is changing. People don't want to put their money in exchanges. They would like to hold it themselves. They're going for different decentralized exchanges. They are looking for different wallets. And Trust Wallet happens to be endorsed by Binance, right? Their investments, their support. And they happen to talk in Ripple Swell event. So there is a lot of big connections happening and they have volume. Now, if you look at that and you are like, okay, this broke higher, there can be a retest. That will be a great opportunity. But will it actually retest the exact same bottom here? No one knows. It's actually creating a pattern. So if you are in the market, you should be aware of TA. You should be looking at where the support is, because if it's breaking to the upside through the resistance, now waiting for that retest here at 1.4 may not be the right thing. In the group, we actually dropped saying, okay, 1.8 is what I think as the best area to buy. It came to 1.82, which exactly is not 1.8, but still you get the idea. You retest. So the high was 2.7 and you came to 1.8. Now you put a number here looking just at the resistance and the trend line, you will get big numbers. This is your measured move. Plot that here. You are like, okay, that's going high. So there are a lot of different assets like this inside the market right now, which is starting to slowly trend back high. And as Bitcoin gains momentum, which it should gain, because we understand this, bullish sentiment comes in, meaning bulls are already in the market. They're not entering, they are already in the market. That's when we are able to observe this. Now when the price goes up, it's most likely going to be followers, then the laggers, all of them slowly come back in. So you ask this question, if XRP is going above $1.5, are you going to buy it $1.6, or are you going to buy at 0.4 if you want to? That's a different story, right? Not everyone does that. When the price goes back up 0.6, 0.8, $1, a lot of people will go for more. Don't do that, because here in this market you're going to literally observe a lot of coin going down, a lot of coin going up. But one day, if this is going up nuts, most likely next day it's going to correct back down. So have that proper understanding of the market. And if you are looking for all these kind of updates for your portfolio to be placed on the right area inside this wave cycle, you can look at the Patreon. The link is given in the description below. And remember what I said before. Look for assets which are holding on to bigger support ranges. Because if it's not holding to a bigger support range, it can most likely be slow. Imagine XRP is below this. Now this range is going to be a hard resistance, right? That is same with a lot of different assets right now which are below this. So even if the market is doing it 25x, it may do 12. Now that's not bad, but it still is not up to the average. If the average is 40 and you're getting close to 30, that's great. If the average is 40 and you're getting 10, it's not bad, but it's not that good. So think about that. Different assets in your portfolio, how many assets you have, what's your risk level, what's your target, what you want. This is going to be really important, because if you say, I don't want any risk, but I need 40x, that may not work well. Whereas if you balance your portfolio well and you're like, okay, this is my risk tolerance, this is my target, I'm happy with that, it's going to work out well for you. So guys, if you received value for your time, please do hit that like and subscribe button. And if you have 5 more minutes, please do visit this channel and watch these videos. If you like that, please do hit that like and subscribe button there too. I'll meet you guys in the next video. Bye for now.